If Aaron says we're going, Phil will go. Phil
Phil
finds,
goes.
yeah,
Phil manages.
Phil make it happen.
He'll make it happen. Yeah, that's what I was like.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for coming out tonight. This is the Board of Selectmen regular meeting, Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Calling the meeting to order at 6 p.m. On the agenda, and I will share this with our secretary, I have several things, late entries, if you will, that came in. I will ask if we take them all together and we can vote on them rather than separately. I would like to add to the Selectmen's report 7I, and that would be letters to Ted Moy and Guy Revesi. And that will also be 9-4, because we'll discuss it and act upon both of those.
And will also be what? I'm sorry.
9.4 under new business. I have a correspondence from Stan McMillan, which will be 7J. It will also be 9.5 under new business. Seven K will be discussion of 107 Main Street. We won't act upon that this evening. 7L, the transfer station report, which I just received this morning. And 7M will be the opening of 3 accounts at the Northwest Community Bank, formerly known as Litchfield Savings. We've already had them as one of our financial institutions, but we're going to be opening 3 accounts there. And that will be 7M and 9.6. Again, I apologize for the late additions, but these were the ones that just came in. Take a motion to include those in the agenda.
Second.
So it was Chris made the motion, Judy second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Public comments.
I have one. Denise Cohn. At the last meeting, Dave, you had mentioned having regular selectmen's meetings on the 3rd or 4th Wednesday of the month. Several times we talked about transparency, but having regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen's meeting at 8:30 in the morning with no Zoom and no recording isn't transparent. I don't think you'll find a commission anywhere that has regular meetings scheduled in the morning when no one can attend. And the purpose of these meetings is to inform the public of the business being done. So I'm hoping that you'll reconsider the time slot, or at the very least have Zoom and a Zoom recording available. Because it's the opposite of transparency.
Point well taken. I hear what you're saying. The way we scheduled those meetings, quite frankly, was we made those meetings at when we could make those meetings. And I'd be quite transparent about that. The Zoom option, again, we probably could use it, and I have no problems with using it and recording it. So
Well, in addition to that, Dave, even if there's a recording, the public doesn't have the chance to voice an opinion or a concern, if there's no one here. And I get the every once in a while occasional meeting, because business does come up, totally understand that.
And that's the reason actually,
Scheduled is,
but actually, to be, again, quite frank with you, okay, and totally transparent, as you say, a lot of these meetings that we have, and I'm going to tell you, maybe we won't even have all those meetings. Some of those meetings will be canceled, but things do come up from time to time. I mean, review of a letter, review of something that's going to come up on our agenda.
totally understand.
Okay, so instead of trying to call a special meeting, we thought it would be better, at least this year, and we set out to try to do the best we could this year to put together these meetings so that we could meet on a regular basis, say, hey, listen, I had this letter. I mean, you'll see a couple things tonight. For instance, 2 letters, one to Ted Moy and Guy Revezi. Certainly, I won't say that people should not have an input on those, but they are letters thanking them, for what they have done in this community. So we bring these letters again to the meeting, so folks still get a chance to care about it.
It's town business though.
It is, and I agree with you.
Thank you.
You're not getting a disagreement.
They are posted.
Yes, they are.
But people can't get here.
Well, we did have people here at the last one. So,
It's true. Okay, moving forward, approval of the pending minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. Any other public comment? Anything, Patty, on our Zoom?
No comment, no.
Okay. Moving along to item number 4, approval of pending minutes. I have one correction to the minutes,
which one? The 17th or
the ones of the December 17th, our regular meeting. Actually, it was a special meeting, but we had to move it as a Zoom. And that would be under public comments regarding the roads. It's DPW. P is in Peter, not DT.
DPW.
Yes. It's in 2 places. It's just a little something, and
under treasurer and tax collectors reports. Under the November 25th tax collector report, it should read that Jacobs voted in favor, Kinsella opposed. We have the 2 switched.
It should be what, I'm sorry.
Jacobs voted in favor, Kinsella opposed.
Okay.
I'll take a motion to accept the minutes of the December 17th, 2025 special meeting minutes, I should say. With the corrections.
So moved.
Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. January 8th, 2026. I'm still having a hard time saying 2026. Minutes. There should be one correction made, which I failed to put in, and I will make the correction to those minutes. That in attendance was also our DPW manager, Tim Downs.
You make a motion to accept the January 8th minutes with that correction.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Take a motion to receive the treasurer and tax collector's report. Excuse me. I apologize. Let me have a motion to accept the November 2025 to receive. I'm sorry, Patty, to receive the treasurer's report of November 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Take a motion to receive the December 2025 tax collectors report.
So move.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
nay.
Written communications, I have none this evening. I did receive one phone call this morning from a resident who slipped and fell last Thursday on the sidewalk. So I know that I was here Thursday morning. I know that everything was salted. It might have refroze. I have no idea. But
And so I,
in front of Toymakers. So
there is that spot where we were trying to clear that water off.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
wondering,
the ice over again?
I don't know if
I
that
think I got
was
that.
the
no, this was up in front of
the
Toymakers.
toy makers.
In front of Toymakers.
Here tends to,
So something we should pay a little bit more attention to, but I do know that the DPW manager was out. I was talking to him while he was salting, so might have been something that refroze. And that's all I have in the way of communication. I would tell everyone this evening, this is the last time you'll ever see this agenda in this format. We will be, that's one of the things we will be working on our next meeting is how to set this up. So it's less repetitive yet. Everyone has the transparency of what we're doing and in fact, still receives all the information that we want to convey. Steep grant, Chris, any update?
Yeah, we met with John Jackier over at the transfer station today to look at it for the compactor. So hopefully we're getting closer to that. A week or
21st. Bear proof container, and I have yet to receive anything back from the state.
Okay.
So it's for rock. Something we said that we would get back to was roadway conditions. Our DPW manager gave us a briefing last Thursday. Tim, while I have you here, a little bit of update where we are. There's just a couple things that I already know. So let me just confirm what we know. We've taken another look at Sand Road. We've looked at, perhaps putting more, and I use the word product because we do use a combination of salt and sand depending on what the weather is and what it looks like. We know that it takes so much time to get through, and I'm going to use the word circuit for lack of a better term and lack of my understanding, but a circuit to get back to that area to make sure it's all right. I was just curious where we are at this point in time with our sand and salt budget. Have we had purchased more salt from what we had stored?
We fit about 75 tons of salt in the little bin that we have, so I've been through that twice.
Okay.
It's full again now. And I mean, we just, as it gets near empty, I gotta order more.
Okay. Hopefully that new sand shed that we'll hopefully have by next winter will alleviate some of that problem.
Yeah, it took over 2 weeks to get it over the time I ordered it. This
I know.
time.
But you're in this time of year.
I didn't actually run out, I was very close.
Okay. All right. So we've been taking another look at it, and I think that there was another. I was speaking with the first selectman on Saturday of North Canaan. We were talking about Sand Road as a whole. He and I are both going to tackle it because we found out in looking at some data that the greater amount of accidents that we have in town, minus the state routes, okay, are on Johnson Road and on Sand Road. I believe I'm correct in that, and what I drilled down in the information. Um, and based on that, they receive more traffic, obviously, as the feeder roads. So we're obviously going to get together. Matter of fact, your suggestion, Tim, excuse me, Chris, of Tim putting another sign there. If we have, I've reached out to Yukon T2. Uh, they're going to look at in the spring. Hopefully they're going to have more signs, but maybe we look at taking that one sign that I would have liked to put in front of the school, putting it over on Sand Road.
You're talking the speed sign.
Or the speed sign, the speed feedback. Yeah, the speed feedback sign. So,
Yeah, it makes sense to me, I think. I don't know, Tim, would it be difficult to set it up so that would, you could easily move it from one place to another?
But you gotta drive a post to the ground.
Yeah,
and the other thing is they control all of it from Yukon. It's on the cloud,
yeah.
the new ones. So they have to know the exact location of it. So if we move it,
Oh, I think we could.
that won't work unless we tell them so.
Yeah,
I think I'd like to get something.
So then do they provide us with the data saying so many cars were doing?
There's
this
no data
amount?
in the speed
That would have been helpful.
feedback. Well, I can reach out to them and see if because they do have traffic counters and speed counters. Not the cameras, okay,
Right.
but they do have speed counters and traffic counters. And I'm probably more than likely going to ask to have one put on Sand Road and one put on Johnson Road, because I think what that'll do, irrespective of, the weather and the snow and the ice, but I would really like to get a traffic count on those roads. Once again, I can't find anything that tells us Tim, you wouldn't remember when we last had one.
A counter?
Yeah, on either Johnson Road or Sand Road.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we had one on Johnson Road a number of years ago. It was set up down by Burdick's. Okay, so
yeah, that was 5 years ago, maybe?
Yeah,
I
think it was that.
I don't remember when.
I think, the other thing to keep in mind is, the amount of traffic on the North Canaan end of Sand Road is probably eightfold of what we get.
Oh,
Because of
absolutely. Because the trucks are going out to 7.
mhm.
It's unbelievable.
But it's a shortcut from
Yeah.
44 to Center.
Just use your GPS, and your GPS will tell you. I mean, if you're coming up from Torrington and you're going to Lime Rock, it'll tell you to cut across Johnson Road.
Yeah,
Of course, it doesn't tell you that the signal dies in the middle of your GPS signal in the middle of Johnson Road, but that's not here nor there. Just out of curiosity, Tim, and probably going to ask you to say a little something to the Board of Finance too, so we kind of know where we are. I know that we can pull down the numbers from the treasurer, but just where are we with overtime with the town crew?
In the month of December, we used about 55 hours overtime each person did. I mean, we all got about the same amount.
Okay.
We were out 14 times.
I know
Yeah, that's busy.
it was.
It just in December, and I think there was about 7 storms. I think I had written down.
Well, we'll try to get
Some of
this.
them were pretty small, but it still brought us out. And,
Mhm.
it depends on when the storm falls.
We'll,
Sometimes we gotta go back out early the next morning to finish cleaning it up.
we're going to work on having those storms occur during regular time.
Mhm.
Yes, we can.
that'll be on the new agenda.
Tim, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for filling us in on this. Appreciate it. See the Fire Commission. We will look at this. I have a letter from Dave Sini, resignation of Kim Mahoney, an appointment of Roxanne Steinberg Whitaker to replace her, and reappointment of Dave Sini. Falls Village Ambulance. I'm going to ask our EMS captain just quickly to give us a brief overview of what's going on right up to date. As I shared with you, I received a phone call from the hospital to bring me up to date at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and there's no sense in returning it because there's probably no one at the end of the line now.
So on December 10th, I received an email from the EMS coordinator at Sharon Hospital. That there would be a mandatory meeting of all EMS leadership the next night at 5:30 p.m. At this meeting, we were informed that Sharon Hospital would not be signing NDP sponsor hospital agreement, taking them out of the area and replacing them with their own ALS service January 1st at midnight. What they were offering us would be a fly card based in our area out of Sharon Hospital to cover EMS calls for critical care transports out of Sharon Hospital, which can take up to 6 hours at a time. The one fly car would also return to New Milford twice a day for shift change. Between the 4 hours of the 4 hours a day for shift change and the critical care transports, this would leave little time to our whole area for emergency ALS care that NDP was currently providing. This would also take away an ambulance used to help our area transport patients and when needed, and for transports out of Sharon Hospital to other hospitals and area nursing homes. The EMS leadership in our area voiced many concerns and left the meeting feeling very worried for our communities and our patients. We all had many meetings to discuss this and what our next steps would be if NDP was unable to operate in Connecticut. I would like to mention that everyone's jobs at NDP were secure, so that part was at least comforting to us who have worked with these colleagues for over 25 years. Luckily, on December 30th, another hospital sponsored NDP and they're still able to operate, so nothing has changed for our ambulance. Sharon Hospital continues to say that our coverage has not been diminished due to this change, but that is only because NDP was able to secure this other hospital, that this level of service in our area did diminish. But we're still very uneasy about what has happened in EMS as we know it in our small towns. Luckily for us, for Falls Village, we also partner with North Canaan and Hartford Healthcare to help us cover our area. I think that this also is a bigger picture of the EMS world around us, and there's more things than a fly car that are needed. And the way OEMS is set up, you don't just bring this stuff to the area. There's months and months of work to do that. So we're hoping that we continue with what we have for now.
Okay,
So
keep us up to date.
yeah, I have been trying. I mean, I don't know.
No, I know on social media, but you've been keeping.
It was
us up to
social
date.
media and emailing you guys and our department.
No,
So
we
there's a lot
appreciate
of
that.
moving
Yeah, thanks
pieces.
for the effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can only echo what our adjoining town, Cornwall, said, and you were present at that meeting when the first selectman of Cornwall, Gordon Ridgway, said this is one of the few things in a small town with a volunteer fire department, a volunteer ambulance, which is really rural, that we can offer the people, and that we have to, as a board of selectmen, keep our finger on and know what's going on. I was really pleased to see at that one meeting that we had at the firehouse that we even had our 64th district representative there asking questions. So
the other thing that I should, just let people know is that one member of our community went to Sharon Hospital who had a stroke, and he needed to go to Yale because of prior medical issues. And New Vance refused to take him out of their system without charging $2,000 up front on a credit card. NDP came right in and took the patient where they needed to go. So my concern is EMS services, but it's the whole picture for our community. So
It is.
just,
It is.
who's getting on our ambulance. So
let's hope it's patient care over profit.
that's what I would like it to be.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle.
yes, no problem.
Town of Canaan Capital Plan. I'm going to get together with our chair of the Board of Finance, and we're going to be looking at setting some dates for the town department chiefs and chairs of boards and commissions. I have to say, I'm going to look at Mr. D, part of the Board of Finance, and
Andrea.
Andrea over there, and I was looking at Hazel. Tell them that we will be getting together. Would probably be just the chair and I meeting with them and just getting getting our budget together. So we'll look at that. America 250, Judy, I'm going to turn to you for a report.
So lots going on with that. We have been meeting. Most of this is coming through the Historical Society, which actually covers both FallsVillage and Canaan. So some of the projects are going to be joint. And then some are going to be just town projects, the town events like July 4th. We figured each town would handle that. And we've got a lot of activities going on. North Canaan is gonna kick it all off with a ball up at the Colonial Theater called the George Washington Ball. It's on George Washington's birthday. And then we're gonna be doing cemetery tours of Revolutionary War soldiers, both in FallsVillage and North Canaan in June. And all the talks, the first Tuesday talks the Historical Society does, it's gonna be all related to the Revolutionary War era. We are going to have the July 4th on the green. We're hoping to have a parade of veterans and the fire trucks and kids and music, and our first selectman and his lovely wife will be dressed in costume and reading the Declaration of Independence. And Dusty is gonna fire off his cannon. So it should be fun. The car show will be on patriotic theme. The Carmela and Betty are heading up a kind of a patriotic community dinner up in North Canaan in July. And we're gonna have also a mini historical festival in August with reenactors and cannon demonstrations and horse rides and all sorts of good things with that, lots of music and stuff, and that's going to be a whole town-wide event. So we'll be looking for even more involvement from the townspeople for that. Maybe the rec commission would like to get involved with doing something. That should be lots of fun. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be a good, fun year. I'm looking forward to doing all those type of things.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Let's for the 250th. I'm sure I won't be here for the 300th. Next on the agenda, letter to Secretary of State Stephanie Thomas. We have been, the selectmen have been talking for quite some time regarding drafting a letter. As a matter of fact, there's been a number of towns in the area that are drafting a letter to the Secretary of State. I polled both our registrars, some of the poll workers, and my fellow selectmen regarding what we should include in the letter. And I'm just going to read this, and then we'll include a copy of this for our minutes. But dear Secretary Thomas, concerns regarding early voting implementation in the town of Canaan. We are writing you as our Secretary of State to formally express our concerns regarding the implementation of early voting in our state, specifically as it pertains to its impact on the town of Canaan. While we understand the legislative mandate, we believe there are significant issues that must be addressed with regards to smaller municipalities. Number one, financial impact. The state mandated early voting period places an undue financial burden on small municipalities. The cost of staffing, as well as the difficulty in finding poll workers to cover and operate polling places for additional days, often exceeds the benefit, especially when voter turnout during these periods remain low. In our town, the cost for early voting was $8,200, with each early vote costing $115.75. Participation. Historically, there has always been a lower turnout for a municipal election in our town. The town of Canaan has 741 registered voters. Only 9.48% of those voters voted early. From another perspective, 326 voters voted in this past municipal election. Early voters were 21% or 70 votes of the total votes cast. Registrar of voters, the early voting period was also cause for exponential growth in the responsibilities placed upon the registrar of voters. In a small municipality, when the registrar's role has historically been part-time employment, the increased responsibilities of scheduling and properly training poll workers, as well as changing technology and increased hours, has presented challenges for both the registrars and their budgets. We urge you to review these concerns and consider measures to reduce the financial strain on our local budgets. Perhaps a graduated system of early voting days could be considered for smaller municipalities. Early voting has been a very noble experiment, but with some serious and undue burdens for smaller municipalities. It is apparent that the one-size-fits-all requirements do not work.
Well written, Dave. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Thank you. And we will be sending that out to Secretary Thomas. Date for a town meeting. We have several things that will be coming up for a town meeting. I am looking at the last week of January.
Can do pretty much any day except Monday.
And okay. We need to hold a meeting here on January 29th.
And that would be, can you just brief everyone here what would be on the call?
What's going to be on the call is, as you well know, us looking for the money for AEA to do the study that we need to be done for the Cobble Road Bridge. We also have a ordinance that we'll be looking at rescinding or amending, having to do with how many annual reports we put out and how they're put out. I have to tell you, I was talking last week with our town clerk, who pointed out, asked how many we should be putting out there, actually printing, because that printing comes with a cost. And we found ourselves that the last time we actually looked at it was in 1994, and we passed an ordinance. And the statute, which is 7-394, has changed since 1994. In the past 30 years, it's changed. So we're going to try to come into compliance with the new 7-394, which allows us to use our website and so forth. So, and as an aside, doesn't require it, but we will continue to put our auditor's report in our annual report. So those two items will be the items on.
Okay.
And we probably should do 107 Main Street at that time.
Oh, that's PNC.
P&Z will be first, yes.
I think that we have to go to council.
We still have to, anytime we rent out a property or sell a property,
Oh, that's true.
so we can include that.
I thought it was just a hearing.
Yeah. Can have the hearing also.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. You're correct on the town hearing. Okay. Item I have drafted a letter. I'm looking at the time here, to Ted Moy, who has left the Recreation Commission. On behalf of the Board of Selectmen and the entire town of Canaan, we want to extend our deepest gratitude for your exceptional volunteer service to the Recreation Commission. Your dedication and energy have been invaluable in helping us provide enriching recreational opportunities for our community. Your commitment as A member and as the chair of the commission has made a tangible difference. We particularly appreciated your innovative ideas and tireless enthusiasm, which greatly enhanced our Halloween and Christmas programs and our summer pool activities. Volunteers like you are the heart of our commissions, allowing us to serve more residents and offer a wider range of programs that foster health, connection, and fun in our community. Your generous gift of time and talent is truly appreciated. Thank you again for your outstanding service. Even though you will no longer be a member of the commission, we look forward to your continued support in building a vibrant recreational spirit in town. And I think he's already done that because he has a new child. So I think that goes without saying. So I signed off on this. I would ask the other two selectmen to sign off on it.
There's the pen, Judy.
And then to another resident of ours, Guy Rivesi. For those of you who do not know, he has been the president / CEO of the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation. Dear Guy, on behalf of the town of Canaan Board of Selectmen and our community, we want to recognize your contributions to the northwest corner of Connecticut and extend our deepest gratitude and heartfelt thanks for your exceptional leadership as president and CEO of the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation for over the past 23 years. Your tenure has been marked by NCCF's support to our town's emergency fuel and basic needs program and a grant to the FallsVillage Children's Theater to help in the repair of spaces damaged by water infiltration. We also appreciate your visionary leadership in the growth of the NCCS scholarship programs. You have truly been a movement builder, inspiring us all with your passion and an unwavering commitment to the NCCF. It's bittersweet to see you go, but our community is incredibly grateful for the positive culture you have fostered with NCCF. We wish you all the very best in your retirement. For those of you who know, who've dealt with NCCF over the years, they have been very, very positive in the Northwest corner.
He's helped us at the Historical Society a lot.
So I think just send a little letter from us saying that we appreciate what he's done. Next on our agenda is the correspondence from Stan McMillan. I have here, I'll move on just a second, wrong folder. Stan McMillan has been once again appointed as our open burning official. And let me just read this to you, to the Board of Selectmen. From Stan McMillan, fire investigators. We have just had two local volunteer firefighters, Chief Robert Carberry and firefighter Elizabeth Klippel, complete their fire investigation class given by the state of Connecticut, including the Youth Fire Setter course. They have both passed the class and are now certified fire investigators. I would like to have them listed as fire investigators for the town of Canaan FallsVillage, along with Stan. They will be able to assist me in investigating incidents as well as investigating in my absence. Both candidates will be starting their code portion of the fire marshal's class in January and runs through May 2026. And I'm going to ask for us to vote on that later. 107 Main Street. Judy, would you like to bring us up to date?
We've had 3 official proposals submitted to us. And we have been reviewing those. And there's one in particular that I think is going to be really ideal. So we're excited. We're excited. We had a lot of interest. There's probably, I would say, 10 inquiries. And unfortunately, there's no water in that room. So that was a big drawback for a lot of people. There's people wanting to do like hair salons and stuff like that. And can't do that without water. So, let's see.
Okay. Just want to bring up the concept that we were talking about as a board, just kicking around in some informal discussions regarding layering in town. And by that, I mean one business that feeds off another. And I think when we looked at who was putting in uh, these different proposals, one of the things we looked at is something that could layer, if you will, in town, which means people who would go to this particular establishment would be going to other establishments within town. And so I think that one in particular, but we will discuss that further because we're actually waiting for one more response before we make a decision on it.
Yeah, if I can just
Please.
add in that, the three that we reviewed were all,
Very good.
yeah, very good if
Yeah.
in the right location.
Yes.
It's unfortunate they couldn't match,
Right.
but,
I am gonna work with those other two to
Yeah.
see if we can find something there.
That's what economic development is all about. I also have the 7L, the transfer station report. Thank you. That I received actually on Saturday. And I will include this just to let you know, MSW for the months of October, November, and December was 118 tons.
How does that compare?
That is right in line with what we're doing. The mirror tipping fees have remained the same. And total expenses, $33,835.74. In plain English, trashing.
yeah. That was 118 tons for how long?
I'm for 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
I'm gonna make a copy for everyone. 7M. Let's grab my. And we'll be acting upon this, but we'll be opening 3 separate accounts for the town in Northwest Community Bank, and they are the steep grant account, the bridge account, that 55,000, and an analysis.
And it's a money market analysis. It's going to be where our direct deposit is going to come from.
Oh, that's for our,
There are lesser fees and higher interest rate. That's all.
that's for our ACH.
Yes,
Okay,
and they're also going to do it in accordance with what our auditors recommend.
okay,
Great.
all right, thank you. All right, so we'll handle that again in new business. And I know we've covered some new business in the old business, and this is why we need to redo our
Yeah.
agendas.
Mhm.
Okay, old business, 35 Redwood Street, spoke with our attorney. They had hoped to have all the paperwork done on the easement at the end of 2025. I have not received anything back from Emily. Economic development, I think we've had the updates where we are. Affordable Housing Task Force is nothing to report. CEN, nothing to report. Cobble Road, Culvert and Bridge, I think this would be the time to mention that in February, we will have a meeting, we will call a special meeting between the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance, in which we'll have Cardinal Engineering come and give us a presentation on those bridges and roadways that they've looked at and really bring us up to date. It's great for you or you and I to talk about them, but it's better to have the professionals here who can really give us a down and dirty. So
Answer questions.
I have plenty of questions, Mr. DPW manager and Board of Finance. I have plenty of questions. New business, tax rebates for consideration of approval of a suspension list. We don't have anything. Fire Commission. I would take a motion to accept the resignation of Kim Mahoney with regrets.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I would take a motion to reappoint Dave Sini to the Fire Commission.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the appointment of Roxanne Steinberg Whitaker to replace Kim Mahoney on Fire Commission.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And those Secretary of the Fire Commission, those are for
What term? How long?
how,
I think it's 3 years.
I
3
believe it's.
years for both Dave and
I'd have
Roger.
to look.
Okay, we will double check it, but I think it is 3,
Town report is a little long.
Yeah,
right? I think Kim actually filled her 3 years.
Yes.
So this would be a new term, 3 years Dave has just done his 3 years, so it would be a 3 year.
Yeah.
So it would be until, and we're actually a month behind because they ran out
Right.
at 12/31 or 12/30, so make it until years 26, 27, 28, 29. No, 29,
28, 31, 12/31, 28.
28. 12/31, 28. You should the next board of selectmen figure.
Are the agendas and minutes posted somewhere for Fire Commission? I looked on the website and I don't see them there.
They're out here.
The minutes also?
All the time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we've set a date for the town meeting and I apologize that we did that too early. And and we signed the letters for Ted Moy and Guy were busy.
Yeah.
I will take a motion to appoint the 2 additional certified fire investigators. Chief Robert Carberry and firefighter Elizabeth Klippel. Along with Stan McMillan.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's
So they'd also be able to give out burn permits? If we can't-
right now, in this particular, Stan is the only one who can do the burning permits because we just appointed him.
Okay,
Okay, for the upcoming year, but these are as fire investigator, arson investigator, along with Stan. And again, they'll be taking their. I've seen some of those courses. God bless them.
oh, yeah,
I'm glad to have them, and I think Stan has been fabulous over the years, but I don't think Stan wants to go out at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's more, no, it's been great. He's been great. Okay, and down to last but not least, what we just spoke about. We have to record this in the minutes. I will make a motion that we open 3 new accounts, or open 3 accounts at the Northwest Community Bank. One being the steep grant account, the second being the bridge account, and the last being the analysis account, which is actually the ACH account.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any feedback from the Board of Finance? No. Okay. Just a couple other things, Chris, Bridge and Infrastructure, I know you.
Yeah, I set up a-
Committee as. we
set up a meeting
enter
for that.
spring.
Probably before our meeting with Cardinal.
Okay,
Nothing on the solar.
okay. I know there's a member of the Board of Finance who would like to talk to you about solar one day.
Okay.
Any other business to come before the board this evening? Any public comments?
I got one.
Tim Downs.
Tim Downs. Very sorry to hear that somebody fell on our sidewalk. I guess I wanna ask for patience. There's like 6 basic plow routes that we do with 4 guys. So the 4 major plow routes get done first when the storm is over. I climb out of one truck, climb into another one to go do parking lots, daycare centers, school, dump, firehouse, parking area up and down Main Street. And another guy gets in the little sidewalk machine and we do the sidewalks. They don't get touched until the storm is over and the roads are done. I try to get there before like the cafe opens or the school, maybe the town hall, it depends on what day it is, but cause you want, that's when at least some of those sidewalks will get used, but dog walkers go out early. They don't care if there's snow on the ground or not, so I'm sure, every time I do the sidewalks, I know there's always tracks out there before I get there.
Yeah.
And I just wanna say, you dress right and be careful, cause you're probably gonna be slippery.
Point well taken, Tim. When I used to run, not that long ago, but I would run down 126 on a state road to Route 63, and on my way back it would be icy, and they had sanded already.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's understandable.
I appreciate what's being done. It's just, someone calls, we do have to, let you know about it and so on and so forth. So it's one of those things. And I was in town, actually, walk through town ahead of time. So things,
And there are like,
they go on, they freeze, and
yeah, there's like
I don't-
3 spots that we
Right.
know have issues with water on it.
so
It's just, that's the way it is.
we'll just look at it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I don't think you did anything wrong.
No.
So don't feel that.
although I do want to know, where are my 2 trucks?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know. I heard I was gonna have new trucks in January.
They're saying February now?
Yeah, they're in, they just are getting upfitted to get
Yeah.
the bodies put on and stuff, the dump body on one and the flatbed on the other.
I just want to let you know, the selectmen want the first ride in the trucks when they get here.
Okay.
Yeah, with a plow down. Make sure there's snow on the route.
Wanna ride, he's a driver.
Oh, thank you. I will. Oh,
Comment. Being very close to the person who fell. I promise you, she's not going to lose him.
Well, I hope she's all right.
She's not. She has a very bad, she was not that cold.
Oh,
She has a big lump on the back of her head. But the bottom line is, no one's blaming anybody.
No.
Bottom line is, this town's responsible.
absolutely.
If Tim needs more help to resand the sidewalks, then you guys gotta give him more help. It's really an issue of liability. No one's
Absolutely.
blaming anyone as to it, but it is the town's responsibility to make sure they're safe. And this was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And anyway,
No,
the
you're,
person who fell is definitely not blaming at
no,
all, but she did get badly.
no, she made it abundantly clear, but she wanted to make us aware of the situation. And that's what we're doing.
Because there's a big liability.
Yeah, I think, as we mentioned at the last meeting, that it's not and there's no issue with personnel, but it's policy, that maybe we should review policy. And, that's, I took a header on Under Mountain Road. That's not Tim's fault. Hit it pretty hard too. Had to go to the doctor and still not probably way off from being 100%, but, it's, I think we need to look at policy. When Judy and I, last week, there was water on the sidewalk over there and I know the temperature was dropping, maybe just a follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even see where it was supposed to drain because the snow.
Was piled up,
Yeah,
right.
so when the snow melts, we can look, say, maybe
yeah,
there
it was
should
right
be
in front of the
something that we
cafe,
could do about
on
that
the
area.
sidewalk.
Put in another drain or something, I don't know. But we can review all those.
And it may not be, that during the storm, it may be the next
Oh.
morning,
Yeah,
Postpone.
so.
Like you said, the policy now is basically, once everything else gets done, then we do the sidewalks, this last thing. So, understood. All right, any other? Going once, going twice, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And I need to throw something from there. Because I left the word out, you guys paid for this to.
Oh, let's.
The second one.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna call the regular meeting of the Board of Finance for January 12th to order. We do have Tom and Carl on the Zoom. I do not believe we need to see any alternates tonight, so thank you. Public comment. You can keep moving.
Okay.
Any agenda amendments?
Nope.
I don't have it.
Do we need, I'm sorry, the 3 accounts, we passed that this
Yeah.
evening. We don't need the Board of Finance.
She just said Board of Selectmen. the bank
Okay,
Board of Selectmen.
I'll let you know about it.
I have it on the agenda to talk to them about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you have
all
to
right,
explain it, but
all
okay.
right. Just wanted to.
Nope.
Check.
Thank you. Any communications? Have anything?
No responses to our.
No, I don't believe anything from the RFPs, and I don't believe we have anything, and we know the auditors is aiming for next month, so. Okay. Secretary's report.
We'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Finance meeting, of the Board of Finance special meeting on December 17th, 2025.
Second.
I'm going to I'd like to make an amendment to it, in the sense that it says, bank reconciliations under reports, and it should be account reconciliations,
Yes.
and it should say account reconciliations, not bank.
Okay. And I'd like to make a very, very minor amendment. On the very first bullet for treasurer's report, it should say Board of Finance year-to-date expenditures. 19,325.
Thank you.
I had a question since it's,
We're discussing.
okay, great. It's not a major thing, but when we made our motions about receiving the reconciliations quarterly, is that considered a policy, procedure, practice, since I'm working on stuff like that? Okay. It's
I would consider it
procedure.
a procedure.
Okay, thanks.
I think we can consider it a procedure, just that's what we're expecting. It's no different.
Requesting.
Yeah, it's no different than us. The procedure is to
Yeah.
receive the report, so I would say it's a procedure.
It should be a procedure.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other amendments or corrections to the treasures? I mean, to the special meeting minutes? So Amy, I'll just have you to entertain motion to amend as.
Oh, I'll amend my motion. I'm making a motion to amend my
Yep.
motion to approve the special meeting, and it's to say that we will, I move to the changes that they
The
will be
changes.
as amended.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the amendment?
I,
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Now back to the original motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm gonna. Thank you.
Internet, yeah, that's it, yeah. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. All right. We have the Board of Finance expenditures, which is no real. Things. With that. So. I'll just entertain a motion to receive. We'll do the expenditures year to date.
Oh, you don't want it all in one?
Now do that as a, just to receive it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to receive the Board of Finance expenditures year to date. Actually, it's through November, through December 2025, December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Any other questions, thoughts, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Fantastic. Treasurer's report.
Make a motion to receive the treasurer's report of November 30th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Any discussion, questions?
I don't think so.
I didn't have. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Receiving
Aye.
it?
Aye.
Actually passes. Tax collectors.
Make a motion to receive the tax collector's report.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? If they're moving right along. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
It's the base section on the owl. The base section.
The base,
Mm.
right?
It's all about the base, guys.
Where should go with this? Okay.
Those resonant voices.
Board of Ed. This one's through December
Mhm.
13th. Okay.
Oh,
the 13th. Yeah, there's something after.
There isn't, so she does, two, bi-weekly, so the 13th was the last one.
mhm.
Right. So a motion to receive.
Motion to receive the Board of Education report as of end of December,
Oh, as of December 13th,
December 13th.
I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
Second.
Second.
I do, but she's not here, but I do have some questions. A lot of these things like insurance and things were 6 months into the year. They should have had a pretty good idea of what like when they set their budget, what those expenses should be. And so I would have thought we would see them closer to 50% expended, and they're not.
Right.
And I don't know if that has to do with personnel changes or something else. So that's a
Yeah.
question that I have
So
about
the-
their report. I don't know if someone can get that.
So it's 52, like health insurance, like the health insurance is
Yeah,
52.
things like that,
You would think
salaries, health
greater than
insurance,
that.
like I would think it would be greater than that. So as I was looking at those were just some questions that I had.
Mhm.
Maybe very simple answers to that, but I'm just not sure. So I'm just wondering if we might be able to reach out to Cindy and get the answers to those questions.
She does have like almost 89% of the property liability insurance, so.
Right, but those insurance, that type of insurance might be
Okay.
paid, like it might be an
Prepaid,
annual
prepaid,
payment or
prepaid.
something like
Right.
that, but
Okay.
health insurance, salaries, those sort of lines, I would think, paraprofessional line,
Would have been higher.
I would have thought they would be higher.
Yeah, because the salaries are only at 38.
Right, so I don't know if there's, if they've had staff changes, and so that could account for it. If they were able to bring people in at a lower salary, but since I don't have much contact with Kellogg these days, I don't really know what
Good question.
is going on there, so.
And the diesel fuel, they pre-buy that, right? Is that bought ahead?
I'm sorry?
The diesel fuel?
Yes.
Yeah, because that,
Yes.
That's why that's
Right.
at 100.
Right.
Yeah, the 100, yeah,
With consortium.
yes. Okay.
So how do we get the answers? Because like often uh like Pat will be here and she'll answer that question. But since, we don't know if they're going to be at another meeting. Is it the kind of thing that you want one of us to reach out to them about, or you want to reach out to them?
I can reach out and just kind of phrase the questions.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
don't mind,
yeah.
that would be great. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Motion to receive at the Board of Ed. All those in favor?
I already made a motion.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Just the vote.
yeah, just the vote, it's just a vote, yep, just a vote. That passes. Selectmen's,
I'll make this quick. I'll make it only about money. Steep grant we are still working on. I'm just going to ask our DPW manager, he came here this evening to give a little presentation regarding roadway conditions. But I thought it would be important for everyone to know where we are with our salt and sand budget and our overtime budget, because this year has been a little bit tougher than actually the previous 3 years. So Tim, if you could just fill us in again, how many hours of overtime you garnered in December?
In December, we got about 55 hours of overtime in. There's 4 of us, so 55 each, but
No.
which is, I think as much as we had for the whole winter last year, but we still got a couple months to go. But you don't know what it's gonna do.
Right.
Salt, we used a little more sand already than we used all last year. And the same with the salt, so. We still have money in our account, we're okay, it's more delivered, but so that's where we stand.
So
No surprise.
who's spread?
no surprise at all, but just worth, thought it was worth noting
yeah.
to see where we were.
We generally, and this was a Fred Palmer thing back from 20 years ago. He had us set it up so that we budgeted for a winter where the budget was set for what we call a bad winter, or what some people call a good winter.
Okay, so thank you, Tim. The town of Canaan capital plan, you and I need to get together and pick some dates, and we want to do a presentation, if you will, to our department heads, boards and commissions. And I would look toward probably the 3rd week in February for everyone to have their preliminary budgets in, like we do every year. So we just need to get together, and as we spoke on Saturday, get some dates together and see when we can do that. We're also scheduled a town meeting on the 29th of this month.
For
Uh,
those votes.
for if you remember
The last
money
meeting.
that you've allocated, and we also have we're going to try to save a little bit of money. We have a ordinance in our ordinance book from 1994 saying how many annual reports we have to produce. The law has changed since 1994. When there was the internet wasn't invented yet.
What it's doing now.
So we're going to see what we can do to save a little bit of money there.
So that means the printing of the
The
reports.
printing of,
How much?
so we're gonna cut back. It had required 10% of the population of the town. That's what the actual ordinance says. So I don't think we want to be producing 1,100, 110 of these, because as you can look around the office now, you can see quite a few. Producing probably 50 would be more realistic, and we'll have it online.
And have it online. Okay.
So that's what we're looking at there. Other things that would affect the Board of Finance, just to let you know, we are sending a letter to Secretary Thomas, telling her about the financial impacts of early voting. And I'll just give you some quick numbers here. Most of the Board of Finance has heard this already, so I apologize. But early voting, the cost was $8,200 to the town. For the early votes, that was $115.75 per vote. So what we're looking for, and without quoting any of the other numbers, is we're asking her to look at early voting, seeing if there's something that can be done for the smaller municipalities, because
Funding.
even though we have the early no excuse voting now, early ballot, it's just been a burden, and actually a logistical. I can look down at a secretary here who's also a registrar who would tell you what a logistical nightmare it was just to get the poll workers.
Yeah.
So you're asking for not funding to support it, but to reduce the required number of hours?
I'm actually asking if you're going to keep it funded, and if it would be better to cut back the days to perhaps something like some of the other states have a graduated system where if you have population under, I'm just going to pick a number, 5,000, you're only required so many days. If you have a population of 10,000,
More realistic.
but we're just asking them to look at it.
Huh?
So
Great.
I think it was well worth the time to draft a letter and send it. And I did have a lot of input from my other two selectmen and from the registrar of voters. And
Do
actually,
you think other
from
towns will
polls.
probably do a similar thing?
I think I can tell you that I had a brief meeting with some of the other selectmen in this area, and I showed them the letter that we drafted, and I think you might see this used as a template for some of the other towns.
Great.
Or they may put something in. Of course, the numbers aren't going to be the same, but
No,
I
of
can
course.
tell you this, and I don't really want to tie you up, but I went to a legislative breakfast now 3 weeks ago, and we had all of the legislators from the area who serve the COG all the way out to Granby. And I mentioned the numbers, and we were the only town, I'm to say with a great degree of pride here, that we were the only town that I was able to, everyone was, let me put it this way, everyone was complaining about it. And I was able to get up with the numbers I received from the registrars and say, this is how much it cost us per vote.
Mhm.
And jaws dropped.
Right. So you put it in their brain to look at it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it does cost.
Mhm. And that and I love what you're thinking about as far as like other states do, or
Right.
for rural
Right.
communities.
Well, let's just, let's look at it and see if we can have a graduated system.
Yeah.
I am not against, make this abundantly clear, I am not against early voting, but
Right.
at $115.75 a vote,
Right.
I'm not sure it's
Yeah.
a
Not
fiscally
expensive.
responsible,
Yeah,
Necessary.
unfunded efforts
unfunded state mandate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make that all happen.
It's a better way of achieving that. Yeah. That's great. I hope you've inspired other towns.
I hope so too. At least I've made enough noise about it. The other thing that we want to talk about this evening is 107 Main Street. We've actually had a number of people looking into that. We're very close to making a decision on who will be in there. And the 3 accounts, and I think you'll be speaking about it, we voted on it, that we will set up those 3 accounts with Northwest Savings.
I have 2 questions.
For
Railroad Street.
Railroad Street, we were supposed to have, spoke with our attorney, and our attorney said all the paperwork on the easement was supposed to be completed at the end of the year.
And?
I spoke to her before the end of the year.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna,
I did a follow-up email, I haven't heard anything.
Oh, you've already done a follow-up email.
Yes.
Yeah, wow, okay. Well, may the force be with you and you'll get an answer soon. My other question, had to do with ARPA grant funds that remain in the account. And I know we're required to expend them all, allocate them all or whatever by a certain date. I think it was June 30th.
We're all advocating.
We're all allocated.
Okay, it's just a
It
matter.
just hasn't been
Thank you very much. Okay, that was all that I had.
Okay.
I have a question for Dave. This is Tom.
Yes, Tom.
Hey, do we have a location and time for the town meeting on the 29th yet?
Yes, we're looking at the town hall, the 29th of January at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And Vanessa has joined us, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was in traffic on the Taconic.
That's no fun.
Always traffic on it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, old business, Board of Finance policy. Amy's been working.
I have, I have, taken what you've done research with and put it, I've assembled it.
Yep.
And I have reached out to some former Board of Finance people who I know if anyone else has suggestions or recollections, I reached out to Lou, Dick, and Dan about a policy with regard to the Board of Finance has an allocation of 20,000.
Yeah.
Like that must be policy because it's not the statutes. Also, there was the when I don't know if this in the statutes or not, but at some point, one needs to go to town meeting or a hearing in a town meeting. And I couldn't find that in the statute, so we must have a policy that guides us to when that happens. Was it a certain amount of money?
So, from what I know, if you're gonna take anything out of the reserve, it has to go to town. meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
And also, if you go over and above that 20,000.
20,000.
Right.
okay, so I'm hoping that it'll all be in one policy there. And then the other one is that our practice is to invite alternates to the table, regardless of whether they're filling a position to be part of the conversation, even though they may not vote. And so I'm looking for those. I don't have any other ones that I know of to search for. I looked at everything I could with the digital minutes. So I'm waiting to hear from those three. If there's anyone else knows who would be a good source, let me know.
I think we've got some good ideas of other things that we need to expand upon over the
For
next
policies.
for the next couple of years.
Were you able to share some of those resources?
I have not yet. Was at work, so I wasn't able to log in and download them yet.
Yeah, but you did share a good
I gave you
resources
some
with me.
that I had handwritten,
Mhm.
but I haven't gotten to
Right.
the PowerPoints. But
Right.
yeah, we
The
did.
policies I do have are addressing deficiencies via transfers between appropriations, a clarification regarding transfers of funds within department budgets, limits to use of general fund annual budget recommendation, and public comment for Board of Finance meetings. And I also added another section called procedures, just because of the budget, the Town of Canaan spending and revenue planning process. But so it's policies and procedures that are kind of unique to us. So if
So
anyone has
we'll
anything.
kind of share out the information. Don't reply all, just absorb it, think about it. And Martin offered to work a
Oh,
little bit on
great.
some too. So maybe we can develop and work with you, Dave and
Okay.
Michelle, to tighten up some of the ones that
Mhm.
might be an assumed, but we don't want to have it assumed.
I was going to say, again, the resources you received
Mhm.
on Saturday, I've already sent those to the other two selectmen. I'll save you some time of going in, and if you want, I will
Share it with the,
just share it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, I'll send
Great.
it out
there's a lot of
to all the members
information.
of the
Yeah.
Board of Finance.
And they gave some ideas on different types of policies and.
Yeah.
You just have to click
Yeah.
on the,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was an email that was sent out
Yep.
from, yes, this afternoon
yep.
that had links to the,
To all the.
The
but
presentation.
I've already pulled down those links,
Good.
so to send them.
Great.
Yeah, that'd be a
Thank
good start. I mean,
Great. Yeah.
I think it's just, we just sort of slowly chip away at it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Amy.
For sure. I mean, finally, something, a little bit.
And Tom, Tom's been helping, he did some on the capital plan. I didn't get a chance to hit the forward button, Tom, but he worked a little bit on the form that I had last. So I did hit the print button before I left. But I like what you're putting together, Tom. He's
Okay.
got changing some of it, organizing, so when people do a drop down, it's alphabetical, not. So you go ahead and talk about the other, if you wouldn't mind. The changes you kind of incorporated.
Yeah, so I had made some notes at the end of the last meeting that I forwarded to Ginger, and I think she sent those a screenshot of those out to all of us afterwards. I incorporated those things. I added a fiscal year. I added some new things under the purpose and categories. Like Ginger said, I alphabetized it so that it was just easier to look at. The one thing I wanted to add was a ongoing cost year after year field, but that page is kind of cluttered, and I think I can add it, but we might have to reorganize some of the things on the sheet to try to make it fit. There's also things in the project detail section that are part of the finance or vice versa. So I think we might have to break apart the form and sort of reorganize those two sections a little bit. However, if you're eager to use that form sooner than later, it's probably, unless other people have some suggestions, it's probably good to go. And then we can just revise it for next year and add more depth to it. Or if you find when you talk to your department heads, if they have suggestions or things, or where do they put things, or if things are missing, we obviously can update the form. It's pretty straightforward and easy to update that PDF. We could even make it from scratch again if we needed to make it work right. So whatever the Board of Finance needs on that form, I can make that happen. So just let me know.
on that present form looked like a very, very usable form, especially with some of the changes that you'd made. We need some place to start. We're not going to have the perfect form at the beginning. I'd suggest that we go ahead with it as it exists after your work at the moment.
I had a question. I also thought the form was great, and I'm sure the improved one will be even better. You mentioned it being a PDF. I was thinking it might be useful to have it be an online form, a Google form or a whatever, SurveyMonkey, whatever. There are so many platforms that you could use, and many of which are free, so that you could actually download the data and have it in a spreadsheet. You could sort it by different ways. So it could also be available in that way as well. I just didn't know what you all who are working on it felt about that. Otherwise, you're
I
possibly
think
going to
that's
be
exactly where it needs to be, but I think we need to, this, right now, I think we'll get it out the door, get them working on it this year, but I agree with you.
I bet you could probably, I don't know.
I don't
I
know this, but I use Excel and.
Yeah,
everything
I
else
mean, I could, I
online.
mean, Tom, don't you, I mean, I don't know how hard it is. I know I'd be willing to try to give it a stab to put it into a form for you if you want.
You need to make it writable in some form. I agree. I do find, as someone who's not a Google user, when people send me Google forms,
It's very
I struggle to actually be able to use that.
So
access that.
a different platform
So,
would be better.
because they want you to have a Google account.
So a different
in
form
order-
would be better.
So,
So
I think so. I mean,
remember, this is an editable PDF, so everybody could take it from email and edit it. They also can print it out and handwrite it if they want. So
okay.
Yeah.
That'll work then.
Amy, that aggregating the data into a central place makes sense. I'm just not sure outside of doing that manually this year, we could get up to speed quickly enough to do that in another way.
And
But
having,
I can work whatever way you want to do it.
and getting the same information from each group that is submitting for a budget line item is gonna be really helpful, I think.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
great.
it's gonna,
I'm
you
just
know, it's gonna
thinking-
make it so much easier to look at.
This is gonna be so much easier from a standpoint of
Okay.
knowing what people are interested in capital wise. That's outside of their operating budget. What are they looking to purchase? And if they already have funds, like we talked about, there's a spot at the bottom to say, I already have a reserve. And it's got, X amount in it, and then the big thing is what year? Cause, I felt the point of some of those speakers that we saw on Saturday saying, you gotta have a capital plan, you gotta have it, some of them do it 10 years, just the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or maybe in a big bucket, but you've gotta have a plan. And if you don't know what you don't know and what people need, you don't know what the rec commission needs, you don't know what until you actually get it on writing, because then it's all, like you said, it's all in one form, same format.
The data's all together.
Right. And I mean, my advice to each board, commission, department is do the best. Don't look to fill out everything. If you can't, if you don't have everything, it's
Fill out what
okay.
applies.
Fill out what applies, and then we can decide where we're going from there. But Tom, I appreciate this. I think this is the start. This is where we go, and then
And we will share these with the Board of Selectmen because it's actually
Yes,
their
yes,
budget,
yes, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so
they're gonna
make recommendations to us,
Yeah,
right? And
So
so
they're
I think
in charge of
Right.
getting it to the department.
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
But you're going to collect all the data. It'll be a living document.
Yeah.
Where
It's gonna be it's not something that the Board of Finance should collect. It's definitely something that you and your team will, pull together. But
This is
we're
what
gonna
we
be-
need.
this is what we need.
And I think and it should be shared between the two, the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen, so that we're all kind of working with the same information. Because if we get to the point where we're like, okay, we think we need a 10% reduction in the budget or something, that we want to present.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
this
at
will be
least,
part of it.
right,
Any reserve funds that are going to be part of it.
right, we will get that data from there.
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be an extra, and then ultimately, it'll be a published document that will be a living, breathing, constantly changing, but at least it'll still.
we'll be there.
Yeah, and
Okay.
once the form has been, filled out and it's edited, it can then be converted obviously back to an uneditable document for that purpose. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
10 years.
No.
All right, we're making.
So many
What
years
software
those
will be used?
reoccurring
okay.
accounts are the ones that are cut.
Nothing.
And this is gonna give us a lot
Yeah.
better idea of
Sure.
where.
And I think the point to make is this is not just a physical item. This could be a software program. This could be, something that needs repair that is gonna need. It's so many different items. We were looking at a software program, which was wonderful to have, but maybe it's not on the radar in the next 5 years, but give us in the 8th year, it's.
Right.
That's when you think you're gonna need it, yeah.
Well,
The
and
project's gonna start, so
would it actually, how would it benefit? But it also gives a chance for everybody to have some input.
So I would take it a little further. What about Region 1? Because would it be helpful to know what their capital plan is as well? And
And
how
the
that might impact each
Yeah.
town,
Sure.
right? So is it worth it to have a conversation with them about also going through this exercise? Even though we're, one part of that being the 6 towns, but we might be able to look ahead and be like, you know what, we know in 2 years or 3 years, they expect to have this project,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I wonder if it makes sense to ask Sam Herrick to go through the same.
I think he'd be amenable to it.
Oh, I totally think he would be amenable to it, but
have to have one.
well, I'm sure that he has one, but to also
Yeah.
get the Region
Share
1
it.
one in
Yeah.
a similar
to be a kind of a sub,
Yeah, sure.
Right, it's
Yeah.
just so we
Yeah.
have the information.
because it's
Yes.
gonna.
Yeah, if we're
Yeah.
gonna make plans in that way,
Don't
bigger
leave that big
picture,
one out, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a big
Big.
part of
Big part of.
our planning,
Mhm.
so I think it would help.
It's a good, great idea.
Yeah. Big part of the formula.
Right,
All right, we'll get it rolling.
thank you.
And then I don't have any RFPs yet.
Okay.
I think
They're gonna come to you.
I
So that's, okay, thank you.
Was there a deadline?
Yeah.
Yeah, February 13th.
Is it worth sending out a reminder or no?
They usually they come in the end, don't they?
Yeah, they're
will,
gonna.
they come in at the
They're coming at the last minute.
They're all like,
That's why I asked.
Yeah,
if the
that's why,
deadline was
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I
Okay.
just figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
Always ask.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's some,
You should,
it's,
yeah.
it's just, it's just, I remember last time we
Yeah.
only got one. And that's why I was wondering if it's worth, I think we'll get more now that you've switched from the antiquated system and if no one's afraid of us, of having to deal with that anymore. So the chances of you getting more responses to the RFP are greater, but I'd hate to be in the same situation as we were in last time where we got one response. So I was just wondering if you sent it out to like, you know,
Yep.
and
Maybe
just
as a
send out a
follow-up.
quick reminder and just say, just a reminder. I don't know.
But the deadline
But
is,
The 13th of.
right, it's
13th.
after our Board of Finance
Yeah,
meeting next
yeah.
week. So, okay.
So I will,
Just a thought. I just
No,
want to
it's
have,
actually not
I
a
want to
bad
have
idea.
choices.
and just a quick letter of, this is, yeah.
Okay.
All right, suspense items, we don't have any. And then Michelle has some updates, so I put her as a new business discussion point.
So I asked the Board of Selectmen, and I've been working with Northwest Community Bank to open some new accounts, one being the steep grant account, so that everything is funneled through one account, makes it a little cleaner and easier. The other is, the bridge account, 55,000 had been allotted, I think it's a year or so ago, towards the bridges, so that will go into a separate account, making that cleaner also. At the same time, I asked them about their ACH format because I've been having trouble with National Iron and the way they format is what our auditor in the past, I don't know if it's the same auditor, had recommended. And they have that. They're also offering higher interest rates. So the balance sheet will look a little different with those accounts. It's not going to change anything as far as our monies go, but it will just look a little different.
So that's an audited account?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for ACH it has to be.
Yes, it is. Yep. Yep.
What is the third account?
The bridge and maintenance, the steep grant. And then just like it'll be where our direct deposit account is. It's a money market now. It's like a sweep account.
Yeah.
They call it, yeah, it's like,
It's like that's where everything starts.
yes, yeah.
That's right.
It is fantastic. Any other business?
I think I forgot to mention here, although I mentioned it at the selectmen's meeting, and I know that we have mentioned it casually. In February, we are going to have Cardinal Engineering coming for a special meeting between the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen relative to the situations we have in town with our bridges and roadways that they've looked at. And just to give us their input on those bridges that the state has looked at.
And when is that?
We haven't set the
Oh.
date. They are putting
Okay.
together all the information. And they will contact us at the end of the month or early in February to let us know that they have all the information together
Mhm.
and that they will be ready to present it to us.
Okay, so we have our Board of Finance meeting on the February 9th, but it'll be a different
It'll
date.
be a different night because I think it will take up a great deal of time because they are putting together an entire presentation.
Okay, great.
We are hoping we'll have the auditors for February. That's the plan right now. So
Sounds like a busy February.
It certainly does. Okay, public comment?
I have one. Denise come. Amy, on your question on the statutes and policies,
Thank you.
2 chairmans ago, I asked staff Bill Jones. He said he doesn't remember seeing policies, he doesn't have them, but his suggestion was to check with the treasurer or maybe Linda. But on your issue with the policies for the 20,000 and appropriations and expenditures and the penalties, if you go over budget, those are state statutes.
Okay,
For Board of Finance, the link is actually on the website.
Yeah.
Board of Finance.
I have the link. I just didn't see it there, so I'll look more carefully.
There's also some in other spots as far as the legality of appropriations, but most of the ones you mentioned are absolute statutes.
I may
which
reach out to
override
you.
any policy.
If that's okay.
Mhm.
If I can't find them, I may reach out to you.
7-340. I sound like Dave over here.
-3 on that one.
7-340 starts off the Board of
Oh,
Finance policy.
Oh, I have that.
They're all listed. in-
Okay, I'll just
Like
look more
8 or
carefully.
9 of them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other public? You will entertain a motion?
I was just going to, and I'm only gonna give her a minute and a half. Thought it would be good for Judy just to bring you up to date on the 250th, because we're going to have a lot going on here, and we might be looking for a little bit for that $20,000 that might. Because it'll be close to July, Judy, I'm only gonna give you a minute, 90 seconds.
So, this year is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So nationwide, we're doing all sorts of celebrations, and most of them are stopping July 4th, but we are continuing a little bit later, and we have the typical talks that we have at the meeting house that are all geared towards the Revolutionary War era. But we're also in town. Dave and Carmella are going to head up the July 4th signing on the green, and Dave is going to read the Declaration of Independence, and both he and Carmella are hoping to be in George Washington and Martha Washington.
Oh,
boy. I don't really go for it.
I don't need a wig.
So,
I just don't go there.
music and all sorts of stuff for that. We have other smaller things going on, but in August, we're hoping to have a historical festival with reenactments and Canaan demonstrations and music and stagecoach rides and all sorts of good stuff. So there's going to be a lot of activities all year long. I think it'll be great. We also want to decorate the Main Street with banners and flags. And
So we might need a little money for
Yeah.
banners and flags ahead.
yeah. Be festive.
That's about it. That's exciting.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sad part is I remember the 200th. Because my mother made me dress up in things that I shouldn't be wearing.
Yeah.
And that's sell from the 250th, because I'm not gonna be here for the 300.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
I know Amy
Aye.
seconded, but
I did.
Andrea.
Andrew.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry.
you, everyone. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, me too.
I am gonna still bother you for a copy.
Oh, yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.